morning. Welcome back into Wake Up America. Yesterday, as we've been talking about this morning, a man was arrested for an alleged assassination attempt outside Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh's house in Maryland. Yet another example of the mob rule tactics that the left has been complicit in supporting to date. Joe Biden has yet to condemn these actions himself. He had an opportunity yesterday on Jimmy Kimmel. He was interviewed for the first time live on a network television program. In 118 days, didn't take advantage of that opportunity to condemn these actions. Joining us now for more, New York Congressman and gubernatorial candidate in the state of New York, Lee Zeldin. Congressman, great to have you on. So here we go. By the administration not coming out and condemning what we saw outside Justice Kavanaugh's house, are they not so subtly encouraging stuff like this?
I believe that they are, because they've actually made statements protecting the doxing of these Supreme Court justices. When the addresses were released, Jen Psaki stood there at the White House press briefing room and defended it. When their supporters were starting to form outside of the homes of these justices, Jen Psaki stood there at the White House press briefing room, delivering the official position of President Biden and the White House and the administration, and defended it. So I believe that this isn't just an example of complicity through silence, but actually what they have said, I believe, leaves them in many respects directly responsible. When you look at folks like Maxine Waters and other congressional Democrats who encourage physical confrontation, you start owning this when your supporters take these types of actions.
Protesting outside a Supreme Court judge's home is against federal law. So forget about the White House. Where's the DOJ? Where's Merrick Garland?
I wish that question came with a very easy answer, because we all know what should be done by the Department of Justice. We know that Merrick Garland should be all over this. It should be personal for him, for the DOJ, for our country. There should be no delay at all. But here we are. You're asking that question now, weeks into that doxing and the first time they were showing up, and now the most recent events of this person who got arrested. That's a great question that unfortunately no one has a good answer for. Yeah,
a would-be assassin. That's how serious this is. It's like catching Lee Harvey Oswald walking up the steps to the book depository in 1963. That's where we are with what happened. That's how serious this is outside Justice Kavanaugh's house. Let's go back to your home state in New York. Congressman, you're running for governor in the state of New York. You've got a primary coming up in a couple of weeks. Is 2022 the year that a Republican can finally win back the governor's mansion in New York?
Absolutely. I'm not in this race to come in second place, and I'm tired of seeing Republicans on their heels and losing in places like Georgia. I'm ready to see Democrats on their heels and losing in places like New York. We have one-party Democrat rule, not just in Washington, D.C., but for New Yorkers, they also have it up in Albany. This is actually the first time in my lifetime that we're going into a midterm with one-party rule in D.C., Albany, and New York City. And as a consequence, you have the tax and spend policies, the spending's out of control, many New Yorkers paying the highest income tax rates in the country, cashless bail, eroding support for law enforcement, leading the whole country in population loss. If you care about crime and public safety, the economy, freedom, the quality of our kids' education, for a lot of New Yorkers, even if you're not a Republican, you're not a conservative, maybe you're an independent, you're a Democrat, you're realizing this is last stand time, and we have to restore balance and common sense to Albany.
A lot of those Reagan Democrats in the 1980s were in the state of New York, and they're still there. Donald Trump, the former president, he's yet to endorse a candidate in this race. It's kind of an interesting situation because obviously he knows Andrew Giuliani, close with Rudy Giuliani. He knows Rob Arestino, and he likes you. He's been very vocal about that. The primary is on June 28th. Have you been in touch with the former president, and are you going after that endorsement?
I have stayed in touch with President Trump, and he is somebody we worked closely with when he was in the White House. We've stayed in touch since, not just on the phone, but also in person. We had an event actually at Mar-a-Lago at the beginning of April that the president attended, and he is somebody, if he chooses to weigh in and get involved with New York, it's personal for him in many respects, even though in one way you'd say he moved out of New York, in another way you'd say he's forever a New Yorker. So if he wants to get involved and support our effort, we'd certainly welcome him.
I think he votes in Florida now, but I always, I think he's forever a New Yorker. Here's just about 15 seconds. Would a Trump endorsement make a difference in New York?
Well, first off, we have the Republican primary Tuesday, June 28th. Yes, absolutely. He is very popular still in New York State. So for him to get involved, I think there are a lot of people who would be more inclined to certainly vote, and others might just, sit on the sideline if they don't hear from him otherwise.
All right.